Yeah, it moves with me.
That is so cool.
Well, come on. Come say hi. Come on. I know you want to. You gotta stand here in front of me. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, here, let me. All right, go play on your tablet.
I don't know. Here, my tablet is. Daddy and me are going to play dominoes.
You cannot play a game while I'm doing this. That's why I asked you to go upstairs. Okay, so I get questions all the time on how to process an entire ham into stew meat, lunch meat, breakfast steaks. So it's a long, lengthy thing if I have to like type it all out in the instructions. So I thought maybe it would just be easier if people just watch me do it and then you can save the video. So this is a pre-sliced spiral ham, okay? Yes, I did put the glaze on. Now, what I do different about my glaze is I don't want just the sweetness to be on the outside. So what I did was, with my little knives here, I went and I put slits all down through. Here, I'm going to turn this around so you can see. See my slits right here? And then I got one like right here, and I have another one, and I got one right here. They're all over the place. I know that you're like, well, that's going to, you know, cut up your meat and everything else. Yes, it does. However, it helps when you pour that glaze over to get down in and get into the inside of the ham as well. So, first thing is I look and I find where the bone is at, okay? And pretty much, I'm going to kind of tip this, turn it and tip it, okay? And I'm going to see where, okay, so the bone is here, okay? So pretty much this is what it looks like. So pretty much from here and around, down through here, I'm all going to use this whole section, okay, as the stew meat, okay? And then I'm going to take and through here, okay, all of this is going to be my breakfast steaks. And then up here, okay, and I'll probably cut that off and probably put it with the breakfast steak. But it's going to be for lunch meat, okay? So it's going to be easy because it's already kind of pre-sliced as we go. They have theirs sliced pretty thin, which is going to be helpful for the lunch meat, of course. Not so much for the breakfast steaks because we like meat. But that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this part as stew meat, this part as the breakfast steaks, and then this part up here I'm going to do as lunch meat, okay? Now, if you flip this back over, you're going to see that there's a whole big chunk here that has a little bit of meat throughout it, but not a lot. A lot of it is the lard, okay? And you want to set this aside with all of the juice that, if you come over here with me, all the juice, okay, that is in the pan. I did render some of it off into a jar. I'm going to put all of that back into a big pot along with the ham bone, and I am going to boil that and make ham broth so that when I make my potato and ham chowder, or I make a bean soup with ham chunks in it, anything that has ham in it, I can use that ham broth instead of just water or a vegetable stock or something like that. So I'm going to remove this piece here. I'll probably be able to tear it. Make it the same length. And nope. Go in with the knife and take it off. Nope, you're gonna have to go ask somebody else.
I like how you're by you.
my 7-year-old is behind the camera saying, it's so cool how my phone moves as I move. Okay, so that'll be part of stew meat, which I'll put over here. And then, let's see, let's tip this over. Way over. And I am probably going to take my bigger knife. And just so that you know, I didn't realize that people were so wanting the whole thing that I do. Hold on just a moment. Will you quit yelling to him? I can hear you. Okay. That's another reason why I don't go live very often. I probably could during the day, but not a lot of people are home during the day. But, well, I probably could rewatch it. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut this. So we're going to cut... And I didn't realize that a lot of people did not realize that you could buy one of these, especially around the holidays. We bought multiple. We used one for our Christmas party. This is the other one. Because we also bought some roast beef. But honestly, I would rather have this kind of lunch meat than that stuff that you get at the deli. But a lot of people didn't realize that it's not that hard to process a ham. Okay, there's a nice big chunk for our stew meat. Set that aside. Go in with the littler one, the littler knife. And by the way, on my Facebook page, I put a link to knives that are similar to mine over on Amazon. I think there's like 3 of them for like $45. They're not the exact same ones because I got mine down in Tennessee and that guy doesn't have a social media following. But that's the closest I could come. People usually like to use the same things as I'm using, which I did not know that. Now I do. Okay, so now let's cut down. Now, I did hit a bone, okay? Don't freak out. You just kind of angle your knife a little bit. See how I went from straight to an angle? And you just go around the bone. It's not that big a deal. Don't go through your bone. That'll dull your knife. These are not butcher knives, you know, like professional butcher knives. We're not going to go there. Because you all don't spend money on that kind of stuff. So we're going to split that. And here is, okay, here is all of our breakfast steaks, okay? Now, I will go in and I will remove this kind of fat and everything so that I can put that in with the bone broth that we're going to make. So I'm going to move this over. And so that, okay, so that's done. See, it's really, people get overwhelmed because they overthink things. So here is the lunch meat part, and here is our bone that's still in there, okay? So what we're going to do is, once again, take our knife, and we're going to cut down through and make sure, one, that you have your fingers out of the way. Nobody wants to eat a finger. And if you hit a bone, you just keep angling your knife until you don't. pretty much what I do. You can kind of tell on the opposite side. So if you want to turn this over like this, and you can feel the bone. And you can go through and cut it off of the bone. And you're probably going to have leftover meat and fat and lard, whatever you want to call it, on the bone, okay, just like this, okay, so you have all of that here, and on the other side, don't freak out, it's going to be great for your bone broth, okay, so I never take any of this off. I let it all kind of boil down and into the broth. So I'm going to take this part, and if you follow me over here, I'm going to put this in the other part of the pan that I had with the juice in it and stuff, and the lunch meat, I'm going to wash my hands, and then we are going to process the lunch meat. I'm going to separate it and put it all into a quart freezer zip bag. I will probably just put it in the refrigerator because he will probably be using it for his lunch. The stew meat, I have a lot more chopping to do because I like to put it into smaller chunks. I will probably get two stews from this. This wasn't as big of a ham as I normally get. I usually get like 25-ish to 30. I think this was like 10-ish. So I'm only going to get probably 2 stew meats out of here because we like a lot of meat in our stew. And then I will go through and process the breakfast steaks as well. So let me wash my hands so that I can handle the bags without getting them all greasy. Just grab one of my, I don't use paper towels at my house. I make these little rags. They're called unpaper towels, which I think is just hilarious. I call them kitchen rags, but calling it a rag didn't really sell. So I went back to unpaper towels, and now they're selling again. I don't know. I guess it's the word. But these are on my website. I'm going to be adding some other patterns that I just picked up. So let's get and we are going to, let's see, that's a little bit too small to put. That would be like a me sandwich, not a him sandwich. So, and the guys know what I'm talking about. Like, they know what I'm talking about. They're not going to put that dainty little piece of meat on there. They're wanting, like, meat. So, and I kind of just follow their pre-cut slices, because they slice it, but it's like not all the way sliced through. Like, can't say it's pre-sliced if you don't slice it all the way through, but you know, tomato. Does anybody have any questions for me? I mean, it doesn't have to be about the ham. You can ask any kind of questions. I will have new products hitting the website here probably in the next month or so. I will have new products on the porch stand as well. Let's see. Got done with my greenhouse, so I will be seeding here pretty soon. That's another reason why I'm trying to get this kind of stuff done ahead of time. because I won't have time later. People are like, how in the world do you get all this done? Well, I don't sleep much. And when I do sleep, it's about 4, maybe 5 hours, which is about all I've ever slept. If you have ever met me personally, you'll know that my mind goes 100 miles an hour. That's the ADHD in me. That's why homesteading is amazing for ADHD people. Not to mention, it's been really good exercise. If you've known me for a little while, you'll know that my face is a little bit rounder. That would be stress of moving to this new place and having all of these home projects to do while also homeschooling and also getting the projects done, getting our stuff unpacked, finding stuff that we still have not found yet. Oh, we got a nice little book there going on in my head. Most of the time I'm here at the house. People are always welcome to stop by. I find that that's what people love to do. They come to see the farm stand, or the porch stand, I should say. And then they start knocking on the door and they're like, oh, hey, I just wanted to, like I'm not a real person or something. It's hilarious. But then when they see me and I don't know that they're coming, because nobody ever like announces, hey, I'm going to come stop by your stand. Nobody ever does that. But then they see me and realize that I'm a real person, that I do dress the way that I am on my social media. And that has a lot to do with the religion and finding God's path. I went back to it. I found it. Thank God for that. I know that sounds a little like a pun. But I was getting away from myself. I was getting away from my country roots. I had to force myself to be somebody I wasn't. So every day I woke up and it was a struggle to be the person that I was encouraging other people to be in that household culture. And it just, I got burnt out. Like, you can only try to be something for so long, and it's just not, it just wasn't me. So here I am, back where I belong, in the country, doing my country stuff. I've always had a garden and canned stuff. I didn't for a couple of years, and I felt off. So, like I said, I'm back. And a lot of people are excited about that, they've missed the me, the real me. So I now have lunch meat for him. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up the stew meat, get that off my board so that I can work with the breakfast meat, the breakfast steaks. We call it steaks. That just tells you that I am more country. People are like, that's just a chunk of ham. No, that's a steak. That's a breakfast steak. So let's open these. And all I'm using, if people want to know, is Ziploc freezer quart bags. Okay, because these are going to go into the freezer. I don't like using plastic, but I haven't found an alternative that will last in my deep freezer, because it gets well below 0 in there. It's not like 32 degrees. I mean, I'm below 0 in there. I have a running inventory. I have a stand-up freezer, like the old 1950s, freezer. And then I also have just a regular chest freezer that you open up. A lady asked me, you should see my DMs, are hilarious. A lady asked me to do a video on how I organize my freezers. So, okay. She was really interested because I said I have a running inventory of my freezer at all times. It is in my, I'm trying to think. Is it in my canning binder and tracking on my website? I think it's in that PDF. And then I'm also going to be putting it in, I'm making a homestead planner as well, and doing that. So, but I have a running inventory of my freezers. Okay. Like I have right now, I can tell you, I have 40 pounds of hamburger in 1 pound increments. Okay. So on that line, that's what it says. Hamburger, 1 pound increment, 1 pound in parentheses. And when I take one, because I've written all of this in pencil, when I take one, I erase it and I put 39. So, because I ain't got time. People are already like, I don't know what to make for dinner. Okay, well, I meal plan. I plan out my whole meal. And I do it with what I have in stock. How do you know how to plan your meals if you don't know what you got? So, that'll be another video that I will make. I probably won't go live on that. I don't know. I might. Depends on how this does. I'm not good at going live because this is only like the 3rd time I have. And I've had this account for like, I don't know, a couple of decades. But I'm going to try and go live more often. Mainly because I just now got to enough followers that I can make money on my videos and on my posts. I was doing some research and they're called stars. Okay, and I don't know how much 1 star is. I don't know. But I just got approved for those. And I'm kind of interested to see how those work. So if you any of my followers or my watchers know how stars work, like, feel free to let me know because I just got approved for those and I'm super excited about them. Earning stars on videos and posts are different than earning them on the live. So you have to get pre-approved for like every step. And I just got approved for going live and earning stars. So, which that money would help me make, which would help me fund some gardening stuff and some kitchen stuff. I really like a grain mill and I really like a freeze dryer. But those are like way off distant dreams because I won't be able to spend that kind of money anytime soon. Okay, so let's get started. So here is the stew meat that I have. It's all on your preference. If you want to take out the fat, I do not. It kind of melts when you're doing your stew or when you're doing your soup, and it kind of gives it flavor. I just take off a little bit of it. I kind of pull it apart, and then I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to kind of chop it up into littler pieces. And they don't have to be perfect chunks. They don't have to be perfect squares because nothing in this world is perfect. Nobody, at least I ain't trying to be perfect. So we're just gonna take them and chop them up. Try not to hit your fingers because, like I said, people want hand, they don't want finger meat. My fur babies are at my feet like, I smell it, Mom. So, and I am processing this for my own family. It's not going to be on my stand. It's not going to be given to anybody. That's why I'm not wearing gloves. It's just for our own personal consumption. All the things that I bake and that I make, even the tallow soap and everything that I make, which has not hit my website yet. I was seeing how it went over on my stand, and it did pretty well. So I might put it on my website. I wear gloves for all of that because it's for, like for customers and commercial use type of deal. So, but this is my personal stuff. I didn't think people would mind if it's for my own family. I kind of have this thing where my house, my rules, my kitchen. And because all of this stuff that I make for the farm stand and all that is done in my other kitchen that I have downstairs, which is my commercial kitchen. But I'm upstairs and in my own personal kitchen. So, and people are probably like, oh my gosh, you have 2 kitchens. I bought the house and it had 2 kitchens. When I found this house, it didn't even say in the details that it even had a basement. So imagine my surprise when I get here to look at the house and they're like, oh yeah, would you like to see the basement? And I'm like, so what? It's got a what? Because that's where my cannon pantry is at. Right off that kitchen, actually. And then I also have my mom's ensuite down there. Yes, my mother lives with me. She's got 2 bedrooms, a full kitchen, a full bathroom, 2 bedrooms, dining room, living room, all of that. She's eating better. She's doing a lot better now that we're both living together. I didn't know how that was going to go. It's actually turning out pretty well. Brings me a lot of peace of mind, though. A friend of mine recently, I'm going to get choked up, had to take care of her mother, and she didn't end up making it. And what was really sad was that I've always been that friend that was always there for everybody else. And unfortunately, I really couldn't be there for her because her situation hit home. Because I know eventually I'm going to be in that situation. And I've never been in that situation. Because when my dad was really sick and I was helping take care of him, it was only in like the last few months of his life, like the last month, I should say. And I was there for him the last week, the weekend of his life. But to go through what she did, I am definitely not looking forward to it. I know that's just a fact of life. It's just a part of life. But I don't like giving advice to someone unless I can wholeheartedly say that, you know, I've been in that situation. I can't say, oh, I know how you feel. If I haven't, because that's a lie. And I can't do that. So I'm dreading that day. I know they say all time heals and everything, but I don't want to think about it. So I'm still just processing the stew meat that I took off of the ham. Now there is a couple of pieces that are kind of hard right here. I'm just going to throw those in with the broth. Nobody wants to eat that hard stuff. So kind of got a little crusty from the glaze that I put on it. Actually, this might make 3 things of stew meat, which would be nice. Because my mom's been asking for bean soup. I just made green beans, ham, and potatoes in the crock pot. And you can put this on the calendar. This is the first day that I do not have more than 1 crock pot going right now. So, because usually if I'm going to spend all day in the kitchen, I'm going to have multiple things cooking for either later in the week or the next week, or, you know, on a night where we have a Girl Scout meeting, because my little girl's in Girl Scouts, and which is like every other Tuesday, and she is selling Girl Scout cookies if anybody is interested. She has a link to a site, and I was super excited. I ordered, it's a $5 minimum if you want them shipped to your door, and it's like $13.99 shipping, which you're like, oh my gosh, you know, that seems like a lot. However, like, do you know what you all pay for DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever? Come on, stop it. But the thing is, I ordered on January the 8th, and I got them Today or yesterday. So,
I don't really have any.
okay.
He's crying.
Okay.
Can you get me
Come around. You can come around and get one. It's okay. It's okay. You can come around and get a bottle of water. I'm not going to tell you you can't have water.
Mom.
Trying to get a kid to drink water is like a miracle in itself.
I like how your camera moves by you.
Yeah, I know. She's just amazed with my little camera thing here.
That moves.
Yes, it moves. Oh, look, there you are. It got you. Here, okay, go on. Go on off.
It moves by your every move.
Yes, baby. It's the little things that kids enjoy. Let's see, what else have I been up to? Been sewing a lot, making a lot of Bible tassels. I'm the #1 seller on TikTok, apparently. That was new to me. A lady told me. She says, well, I put in Bible tassels and you're the first one that showed and you've sold over 200 and all these other ones have only sold a few. And so I bought from you and I'm so glad that I did. And I'm like, well, that's amazing. I would say like 80% of the Bible tassels are made from the little girl that you've seen. That's Nevaeh, by the way. She's nearly 8. I can't believe it. She's tall, very tall, super smart. Not just because I homeschool her, but just naturally smart. But she makes most of the Bible tassels, and we ship them. Just the other day, I think I put on my story where I have the cutest business partner. She was holding up a receipt of all of the ones that we had shipped that day. And mainly that's from TikTok. Yes, they are on my website, but they're also in my TikTok shop. We did amazing throughout Christmas, thank goodness, because that's what paid for our Christmas. And I'm going to be really transparent with you guys. I sold my property and my mom sold her property, and this house is gorgeous. We love it, but it was a little bit more than what we thought it was going to be. We didn't get as much from our 2 houses as to pay this off. So I know that people are like, oh my gosh, she's got this big, huge house, but yet she's acting like she's broke. Well, you know what? I'm house poor. There's a difference. That's why I've been trying to monetize my social media as much as possible. So even if you can't contribute stars or you can't contribute any kind of, like we have an Amazon gift registry. I've done pretty much everything these other creators have told me to do. Just sharing and liking, commenting, all of that, all of the free stuff. You can do all of that for me and it would be a beautiful thing for me. Like that's great, because no matter what I've been posting, it's like I get on and I don't have the analytics that I thought I would have, considering that I go and I comment and like and share on about 15 minutes worth of whoever lands on my feed. And it's like Facebook isn't pushing my stuff out. So if you guys could help, I would love that. I have been processing a ham. I made breakfast steaks. I made lunch meat. We just got done putting the lunch meat into the bags. I just did 1 bag of the stew meat. You can always go back and rewatch this if you want to know how to do it or how I do it. Right now I'm just bagging up the stew meat and kind of talking about me being back on social media and our move down here to Drought Ridge and our house and new products that are coming to the website and to the TikTok shop. I am actually all out of pre-made Bible tassels, so we are going to have to get busy. Me and the daughter are going to have to get busy because, like I said, she makes about 80% of them, but she showed me her method. I just posted a video on TikTok. She showed me her method. It does hurt my fingertips. I swear that girl must not have any nerves in her fingertips because she's taking that hot glue and just with her fingers, and I cringe. She's not even saying it hurts or anything, and I'm like, okay, well, I gotta stop being a baby. But it took it only took about 10, maybe 12 minutes to make it her way. It usually takes about 20, 25 to make it my way. So we're going to keep her way, even though I probably won't have any fingerprints. If anybody wants to be the getaway car driver. Oh, I'm going to need another bag. So yeah, we started a lot of home projects. We got some of them done. Some of them are like half done. Like, we didn't even realize that we forgot and did not paint all of the stairway spindles. The stairwell is done, but the loft, like landing, that has the stairwells or whatever, are still stark white. How we missed that, I have no idea, but we did. So here, soon, hopefully, we can get that done. Like I said, gardening is coming up very quickly, because at the end of January, I will start mixing my potting soil, and I have to let that aerate a few times. I let it sit, and then I aerate it, and then I let it sit again, and then I aerate it. That's because I start from seed as much as I can, because I do a spring, summer, and a fall planting. Last year I did not do a fall planting, and my canning pantry has definitely got some hello in there. It's got a lot of space, empty space. So this year I'm gonna have to buckle down and really fill it. We have had limited meals because we don't have as much in the canning pantry as I had hoped. And that was because of still moving, getting things done here at the homestead, and doing the projects around here, inside and outside. We have so many things started. Me and my mom, we have both decided we both have ADHD, which two ADHDers in one house is comical, okay? She's a list maker, okay? But she does it on her phone and some little notes app or something. Me, I'm a paper person, because I like to go over to the list and go whoosh, when I get it done. Like that whole hearing it go, whoosh, you know, satisfies my soul. However, I would say the last 2 to 3 days I have not made a list, and I am behind because I've not made a list. So I'm gonna have to go back to that tonight. I'm gonna have to make my list for tomorrow. Okay, so now here is the breakfast meat, which I'm going to turn around this way, because I think this first one isn't too good, but the other ones look pretty good. Now, I do have a lot of fat, like in through here. I'm going to take the small intricate knife that I have, and like I was telling before, I did link a similar set of knives on the actual post of the ham that it's posted. Let's see, it's posted in the description to a similar set of knives that I use, because they are the company that I linked is still a really good company. I do have their set as well. The ones that I have, these here, I got down in Tennessee. I got another set because my husband got a hold of the first set. The look should tell you everything. Because men like to use a good set of knives for anything but what they're actually used for, made for. So all I did was I just cut that lard out, and I'm going to put that in with the broth meat and stuff. And I probably won't do the broth tonight. I will probably let it simmer, bring it to a boil, and then let it boil for probably about 15-20 minutes. I'm going to cut off all of this other that over here, put it with that. Oh, and by the way, I know she's really liked this little camera thingy that I have. You can get them on Amazon if you really want to know what it is. If you're really interested, I will look it up for you and send you a link. But it has been a godsend. I really have enjoyed it. Makes content creating much easier than just those little tripod things. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to use their pre-cut spiral and then just kind of, these I will probably package into meals. I will probably do, let's see, one for me, one for mom, one for Nevaeh, 2 for him. Okay, so probably around, I'll probably do like 6 or 7 because some of these are a little bit smaller than others, cut-wise, so that we have enough for a breakfast. And then, let's see, so a lady asked to see my freezers. She asked about my trackers that I use to keep a running inventory of my freezer, both of my freezers. I also have one for my canning pantry. That definitely is in my canning binder that I have on my website. And pretty much all of my digital downloads are under $5. So, I mean, I have a full recipe book with like 32 recipes. There's breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and desserts for, I think it's like $2.95 or something like that. And there's one a month for an entire year. And it takes the things that would be popular in season and puts them into meals. They are plant-based, however. You can pair it with a meat if you would like to. I just put enough plant-based protein stuff in there. That way, if somebody cannot eat that way, it's easier to add a meat to a meal than to take away, because you're taking away protein. So there's those, and I have Peachy Perfectly Peachy. Every recipe in that recipe book, of course, is about peaches. Because a friend of mine was like, I just found my grandma's recipe book and it's got tons of peach recipes. And I'm like, girl, I need that. Because I think it was like 2 or 3 bushels of peaches that year. Then there's Picnic Comfort Food. Let's see what else is on there. I got all kinds of free recipes in the free recipe bin. So yeah, you get on there. There's a bunch of free stuff in there. There's some coloring books for the kids. Those are free. I have a ton of free stuff. But none of my stuff is, I always get told that my stuff is way underpriced. Mainly because there's times in my life where I had money abundance. And then there was times where I was wondering, you know, how I was going to be able to afford something. So I don't plan to get rich off of my website, but every little bit helps. Let's put it to you that way. So, and I am just about done. All I'm doing is taking where they have pre-sliced the spiral part. And I do want to clarify that when they say, oh, it's pre-sliced, it is not sliced all the way through. It is still attached somewhere. So don't think you're just going to be able to go over and go and plop it onto your plate. It's not going to happen. You are going to have to cut something. So with them saying, oh, it's already pre-sliced, you can just laugh at that, okay? Yes, Nevaeh.
Can I have a snack?
No, you may not.
What?
No, not right now. I'm almost done.
And then I can have a snack?
Yes, and then you can. Okay?
If you let me, I'll have 2 fruit snack packs.
No.
Or some cantaloupe.
No. We'll have cantaloupe in a little bit. I will do that after I do this.
Good.
Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Bye-bye.
5. Bye. 6.
Wait.
1, 2, 3, 4,
You need a kiss, Mom.
5, 6. Yes.
You need a kiss?
Yep. Come on.
Mm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then you like kisses and hugs before I go back anyway.
Okay.
Mwah.
She's a very huggy, touchy-feely person. And she always likes to do it when, you know, I'm at my dirtiest. Okay, so we got 3 bags of stew meat. We got a bag of lunch meat. And we probably got, I'm going to add one more to this one and just make 2 breakfast meats. Like I said, this one was not a very big ham. It was only around 10-ish, 10, maybe 12 pounds at the most. I'm normally processing 20 to 30 pounds of ham at a time. So, but like I said, we had bought 2 of these for our Christmas party. We only used one of them because we bought roast beef. So to make some freezer space, I went ahead and processed this. Now, I will move this forward, and I want to show you over here. Okay, so I'm going to pull this in front of me. So all of this, okay, a lot of this is the lard and a little bit of meat and the bone, okay? And the honey glazed part, I already took out. It's this here. Okay, I'm going to pour that jar and put all of this into a stock pot. I'm going to boil it for probably 10 minutes, and then I'm going to let it simmer. I do not take the fat out of the ham and bone broth, you know, the ham broth that I make. When you put it into a stew or to a soup, all of that's going to melt down anyway and give it extra seasoning, extra flavor, extra southern flavor. So I don't ever take that out. Some people do. Like right now, I'm going to show you this. It's already separating. See the white on the top? That's the lard. And I have some in my spoon here and in my funnel up here. You can actually separate this. Like a Southerners who like to use bacon grease to season everything, you can also use this to season things with as well. Like I said, though, I usually just keep it in my bone broth or my ham broth, whatever you want to call it, because it does give it extra season, extra flavor. So if anybody has any questions, if you missed part of this, I will post it. You guys can rewatch it, save it. I did ask that you like, share, comment on it. My stuff's not really getting seen. That's the best way, cheapest, free way to help me out with growing my account. And since now I've just not been approved to monetize, to make money off my stuff. And if you would like me to go live and do more of this, any of the other stuff, like I'm already going to do a video on how I keep my freezer, how I organize my freezer. It'll be coming up probably in about a week, because I do have to reorganize now that I have space. If you want to see a video, I don't know, anything that you want to learn, like bread making, sourdough making. I do make all of my own like laundry detergent, which I just did though. I should have made a video after that. See, I just do things and I forget that people want to see these things. I need to make a list. That's what I need to do. But if you give me some ideas in the comments on things that you want to see, I will do a video on them, or I can go live. And I can share the knowledge that I have with everybody. Let's see. Is there anything else? I feel like I'm forgetting something. See, this is where I should have asked, and I didn't. And now, as soon as I shut the slab off, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I should have said that, and I didn't. Oh, one of the ladies asked me, do I normally dress like this, or is this just my social media dressing? I'm guessing that she's talking about my clothes. I do wear these every day. Right now I got an apron on, but I dress the period of which I practically live. I do live more pioneer style as much as possible. Yes, I do have some modern conveniences like the refrigerator and the dishwasher and the stove. I would love to have a wood burning stove, but they're about 10 grand. Which won't be in the next couple of years, unless my social media money making really takes off somehow. But my whole house is done in like late 1800s, early 1900s, and that is actually the style that dress that I do. And I do make a lot. I do sew a lot of my own clothes for that reason, because if you find them on the internet, they want like a fortune for this style of dresses, because it takes a lot of material, and two, it takes a lot of time to do them correctly. So that came from a lady at the Speedway up the street from me, because she follows me on TikTok and was like, oh my gosh, you are like, I'm a real person. People, like, this is not AI, this is me. I have a couple of big changes coming. One is geared toward health, my health, that is. This move has put a lot of stress weight on me, and I'm glad gardening is coming, because that's a big workout for me. So, but yeah, this live thing wasn't such a bad thing, especially with my little camera that kind of follows me around. If anybody's interested in that, I will send them a link if they send me a message. Let's see. If you're in Dry Ridge, stop in 200 Bridal Court. I do have a porch stand that is still open. So if you missed any of this on how to process a ham into stew meat, breakfast, steaks, and into lunch meat, you can always rewatch it and save it. So other than that, I hope everybody has a good evening. Thank you for watching.